Our Life. I saw this briefly in a description. It was supposed to be super cute, really nice game with a nice story, very emotional, and it got a lot of good reviews. So it should be a short little game, but I wanted to give it a shot, check it out, see what we think, and yeah, so let's get into it and see what this is all about. Already loving how it looks. Am I out of focus for no reason? Our Life tutorial time. Welcome to Our Life Beginnings and Always. Okay, there are various ways you can customize and interact with the game. This tutorial is an overview of how certain features work. You can read the full tutorial from the main menu to learn about everything in detail. Okay, didn't realize this needed a whole tutorial. To start, the game is divided into 3 time periods called steps. Step 1, childhood. Step 2, adolescence. And step 3, teenage. Alrighty. Our Life is further divided into sets of vignettes that take place during specific periods of time. Those are called moments. Moments can be played in any order or skipped entirely. You move on to the next step whenever you want by selecting that summer is ending. Steps 1 to 3 include 5 moments. Each and even more can be unlocked, purchasing DLC. Some are out now, blah blah blah. Okay. A lot happens over the years that go by, especially in regard to the character you play as. You determine nearly everything about the main character: name, appearance, personality, pronouns, interests, skills, their relationship with major characters, and so on. You can decide to take the details as time goes on, with a few exceptions. Your last name, skin tone, and eye color can be altered once set. Much of the MC's basic traits are determined on the character's creation screen. As the MC grows up, more options become available on screen. As mentioned, one of your decisions you'll get to make for your character is selecting a name. You can type in any name you like, or you can pick a present name. Present options are called voiced names because the name will be voiced aloud by the romantic lead. You'll get to hear him say your name as you play through the story. Okay. Only the default name Jamie is included in the base game. Hundreds more can be added by adding a free voice name expansion. Yeah. Not interested in the feature. Okay, this is just explaining the DLCs. I think you can still play through the game and end it, but it said like a 20-minute game. I think this is going to be a bit longer than that, based on all these options and if we're going about it seeing everything, but we'll see. Lastly, you can change the spelling of a name after selecting the voice option you want. For example, going from gray to gray. Okay. On the character creation screen, there's a cute doll you can decorate to get an idea of what MCs look like with the different traits put together. Not all the things you decide about the MCs appear on the doll. The script referencing what you decide. Okay, this goes. How long does this go on? Our character sprites doesn't appear next to the other character. Next to other character. Okay. There's also a second type of special MC based on the screen, the interesting comfort screen. Unless you get the blah blah blah, it's interesting, capehold. So maybe we'll do a playthrough of this and then eventually I'll do the DLCs if you really like it, or if I really like it. There are 4 levels. MC and the interesting comfort scene is crucial for determining how the play is out. Interesting level sets how much you like him. There are 4 levels: disinterest, fond, crush, and love. Love is only available starting in step 3, and if you were at fond or crush in step 2. Comfort determines how you generally think when it comes to him. There are 3 levels: nervous, relaxed, and direct. Okay. 1 love interest. Okay. Interesting level. So we wanna get along with him. Got it. Step 2. Your level of interest and comfort will be set to the type of dynamic your character has with the love interest. What you did in the past will influence the present. The feelings can change over time. You get to pick your interest and comfort near the beginning of the steps. Comfort can switch between 3 levels as you please. Your interest level can stay the same and increase. Your current level of interest will become the new lowest option on the screen in the future. For example, if you decide to be fond in step 1, disinterest will be gone from the screen in step 2 and 3, which will make fond the bottom level. Okay. Interest level has an impact when it comes to physical attraction with Cove. While growing up, things are rather simple. If you get along with one another and have a close relationship, you can choose to touch him, and Cove will occasionally interact with the MC in lighthearted or comforting ways. But starting at step 3, touching can become more romantic and suggested if you're at crush or love. To make sure things go nicely with that, there will be an extra choice to determine initiative. What am I unable to read? Level. And a bonus mini tutorial that goes along with the choice to expand the feature. Okay. Basically, if you died like Cove, the game won't force you to act on those feelings. You can always choose not to get together with him, choose not to accept or give romantic gestures, etc. If you do decide to date Cove, though, you can't break up with him later. Okay. Interest comfort gets the basics down, but it's the choices that appear, blah blah blah, and if it's only the MCU impacted by your decision, Cove grows up and changes over the years. How he's treated and what he experiences helps shape who he becomes. Chapter 2 and 3, Cove's personality, appearance, and interests will be very based on what happens in the previous steps. It's something of a mystery. Exactly how your decisions end up changing him, you can't try and guess as you go along, or if you prefer, you can also just design your own ideal Cove, directly using Cove creator options that pop up in the beginning. Making the choices you want is always more important than making the choices because you feel like you have to in order to get a certain result. When a choice does appear, usually you'll see that the hovering cursor option, certain colors, blue or green, colors aren't related to certain points or effects. They're only there to give you a bit of insight and tone, emotion, and choice, and since text alone potentially be read more in one way. Blue tends to be casual, straightforward, yellow more emotional and reactive, green less certain and uncommitted. Though there are hundreds of options in our life, choice, pick just one color at a time, doesn't give a gameplay beneficial, only stick to certain types. Freely, always pick yellow, never pick yellow, pursue romantic right from the start, never romance the interest, be disagreeable, or blah blah blah. Welcome to enjoy the events and shapes of the story without reservation, and then if you like, you can play again to try something new. There's only ever more good content to discover. We hope you'll have a nice time of life. Thank you for playing. Okay, now that that's finally over. Okay. Oh, cute. Alright, so we got round, we got chubby, we got pointed, oval, peach. Okay, I think we're gonna go with a simple old oval. I'll try and see if we can make it look like, oh wow. I was gonna say like me. Like myself. But you, good gosh, that is white. Oof. Okay, peach will go with eye shapes. Oh. What do we want to do? Oh, that's very slanted. Okay, so it's got only a few options. Gotcha. Could do like that. We've got more of a grayish green. Well, technically it's gray, so we'll go with that. Curled, flowy. What does the back look like? Pardon me while I enjoy this. I love doing character creations. Ooh. Oh, cute. Want to see all my options. Oh, it's so adorable with little buns. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's that. Oh my god, she's so cute. Can you turn it to look? No way. Oh my goodness, okay. I think we will it's gotta be absolutely perfect. Maybe we'll go with this. And we'll fix it to match. How do you see? I block out the world. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, two-tone. Look at that. We can get real edgy. I want the one that matches what I've got right now. Which one is that? Oh no, back at the beginning there isn't one that matches that. Okay, we're gonna do something different then. Okay. We I keep thinking I'm like going towards brown, and I was like, oh, that's right. My hair looks more red now. So we'll head up with a more reddish color. Oh, I guess we're more like this. Right now. Yes. Jamie. Okay. We'll do a she. Voice name. None. Default? None.
Jamie.
Oh, okay, so you can't really pick then, I guess. Oh, you can! I'll let it actually say it, I guess. Why not? And we'll do the last one like that. Okay. Oh, cool. We get little birthmarks. Oh my gosh. I was in the war. Oh my god, she's adorable! Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Oh, it's so cute. Do they got glasses? Kind of like, no. Okay, we'll do, okay, change page. Oh my gosh! Scribes, but I can't see them. Hey, let's go through Sesame. But I can't see it. How am I supposed to know? It's fine. We're gonna do done. Here we go! Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. Okay. It was a popular tourist destination with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach, the weather, and the relaxation that came with both. Double check. Yeah, we're good. The smell... Oh, whoops. What am I... Yeah, okay. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. During the summer, your moms didn't like you to wander too far outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved when they passed their stores. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. Okay, you didn't really get why they always had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back to them anyway. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people, since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. You were too anxious to say hi back, and most of the other residents had greeted you, but they all knew you well enough to expect that. I'd say you end up saying hi. You enjoyed learning all about where they were visiting from and hoped to visit these places one day too. Okay, I'm just going to double check if it is unbelievably loud right now, or why it's unbelievably loud right now. And we're back. But today, oh, I missed one. Whoops, can we go back? I guess not. But today there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that the people who you didn't recognize really stood out. It was rare for the tourist to venture into the residential district, as your mom called it. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags. I think this game is going to have a lot of this kind of like reading and going through stuff aspect. Your mom's had a talk with you and your big sister Lizzie about this kind of situation before. Ooh, okay. You hadn't exactly been listening at the time. You think it could be okay to talk to new people. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people can help you even if you don't know them. You remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite. Then I wouldn't say that. I always try to be nice. You weren't sure about this man yet. Still, you felt a bit scared, knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door. Oh. But you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what was going on. Whether he was nice or not, you didn't want to be bothered. I want to know what's going on. You slowed down, your eyes remained fixed on the man. There was a split second where your eyes met and you knew he was aware he wasn't alone on the street anymore. Hey! You raised your eyebrows at the shout. Did he want something? Is that why he's here? The man stood up and started making his way towards you. Not wanting to seem too approachable, you folded your arms and stared. Still unsure about him, but willing to be friendly, you offered a strange smile. Your whole body is frozen in place. I tend to be friendly. The man gives a grin of his own back. Do you live around here? What's your name? You look like... Ooh. You look the man up and down, taking in his tan skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed. The way he was acting wasn't. Okay. He had sharks on his shorts, okay, and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. Yeah, I live here. Yeah, I live there. My name is Jamie. You continue to say nothing. Yeah, I live here. That's great. He looked happy to hear it, giving you a broad smile. Oh. Reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill. It crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him. Did you do me a favor? Oh. Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have. Let me start over. He cut his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing, it made him look creepier. I have a son. His name is Cove. Who's about your age? Cove. That seems like a strange name for an actual living person to you. You chewed on the inside of your treat. This guy was obsessed with water. You thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, we'll go with that. He wasn't the only person like that on Bird. Cove's dad. We moved in across the street, see? He gestured toward the house that had been empty for years, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. You must be Jamie Wonder, right? I met your moms earlier, and they told me you were 8, just like him. So, he took a $20 bill to bring it back to my attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips at the corner. Can you try to be friends with the boy? Just give it a chance and you can keep this. He's a good kid, you'll like him. But you've got to keep it a secret too, okay? It wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. Oh, you eyed the man, you kind of felt sorry for Cove. Did other kids really get their parents to pay for their friendship? I mean, I feel bad for him, but I don't want to take money for it, like I'd just be his friend. This totally wasn't the normal way kids made friends, you knew that. What do you say? Want to make a deal? I don't want to take it. No, thank you, sorry. He deflated enough to notice, but not completely. But can I just be friends with him without taking money? That only made this sound more strange to you. Why does it last things summer matter? When it's clear his initial strategy wasn't going to fly, he tucked the bill back and then changed his request. I get it, you don't have to. Would you be more comfortable with him and I coming for a normal visit, no money involved? Okay, you can do that. Yeah, I want to meet him. Okay, you can do that, I guess. You'd have to ask my moms. I didn't answer the man. Yeah, I want to meet him. Okay, you can do that. Yeah, I want to meet him. His smile got bigger again, his eyes twinkled at the side. I'm bringing by tomorrow. I wanted him to meet and greet with the neighbors today, but, well, I don't know where he's gotten off to. He laughed when he said that, but with the way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. If you see him, can you tell him to come on home? He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss it. Sure thing. This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. You knew that, but you were still going to help. The man smiled and reached out to pat you on the head, paused before doing so to pull his hand away instead. Your moms are already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. Now I better go look too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting here. I thought he might come back, and that's not what's important. I have to go. Thanks you again, Jamie, so much. He jogged off down the street without another word. Oh, you decided to check the hill behind your house. Interesting. So I think this is going to be very much like a reading and, like, it's very pretty, but like reading and, yeah, going through stages and stuff. So maybe it's more of a video that's a background noise for you. Maybe something you enjoy to watch. Maybe it's not something you enjoy to watch, but I think this is pretty much what this is going to be like. But I'm interested, so we'll see how it goes. The chirping of crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quiet and familiar. From the top of the hill you can see the ocean. As you walked, you listened to the crash of waves on the shore and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. You've always loved the ocean. It was so much fun. You loved to hear stories about the sea, about the merfolk and the sea serpents you imagined living far beneath the earth. You didn't enjoy the beach all that much, especially the sand, which got absolutely everywhere. What do the stories one? Sometimes you could almost convince yourself you had seen a flash of a shiny mermaid's tail in the distance. You took in a deep breath. You wanted to try and relax, and couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone, so you glanced around. There was a boy sitting at the top of one hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like he'd found a deer in the wild. Though deer didn't have green hair, wavy eyebrows, huge glasses, pink cast, sad frowns. Sad frowns? But this new boy did. You wonder what could have upset him. After a few more seconds, he took a step forward, then another. And then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scary. Hi. Hey, Space Cadet. Are you lost? Ooh, I should look back and remember now if it said it was... Because yellow was good, right? Or emotional. Green was offhandish. Blue was kind of in between. Hey, Space Cadet? With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balled into fists at his side. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. He'd been crying. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees, soaking them to the hem in his shorts. Hem of his shorts, ooh. And his eyes were still shining with a few more. You'd obviously caught him off guard. His pink cast seemed to glow in the twilight, though. When he caught you staring at him, he hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier had said stuck out to you. Cove? Huh? Eyes wide, he studied you. How'd you know that? Dad, I'm all-knowing. I met your dad. So, is this your hill? He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave if he is... Oh god, I can't read today. You can't own a hill. Yep. You shook your head. Why not? How could you? You just do. I had a hill back home. Well, this still isn't mine. Oh. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them seem like flowers too. The night wind was cool as it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Why are you here? Why'd your family move? Guess why are you here? Quiet hit could have escaped Cove as soon as you asked the question. Almost like they'd never stopped, his tears started to flow again with a vengeance. My parents. They don't want to live together with me anymore. Tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking to his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave, and he took me with him, and now we have a house here, and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. Aww. So it reads very nicely like an actual book, I guess, which is the point. I'm sorry. Your dad seems kind of nice. You'll like it here. You just have to get used to it. Stop crying. I'm sorry. Because it seems like that's offhandish. I'll go with this. He slipped his hand underneath his glass and pressed his fingers to the eyelids. Cove wound himself up again for another long crying fit. Sunset Bird was a nice place to live. It had a beach, playgrounds, a good school. At least you thought so. But from way off in the distance, you heard your parents. Jamie! Cove? Kids, where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here.
I want to go home.
I want to go back to that house. I want to go home. You can handle it. You have to go. You have to go. Don't worry so much. Sorry, I have to. It will be okay. You're stuck in a sudden need to reassure Cove. It's gonna all be fun. But isn't he your family too? Yeah, I guess. Then you can count on him when you really, really need him. You shot him a grin and pushed yourself to your feet. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked toward the sound of his dad's voice silent, then turned away while rubbing his not bandaged arm. I still don't want to go. You called out yourself, you waited silently with him, you tried to convince him. You waited silently. Yeah, I get it. You do? Before you could answer, you heard Cove's dad even closer than before. There you are, bud. The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you, and they rushed over. Both your moms were at your side in a split second, face filled with worry. Jamie, you're here after all. We've been at the park to check for Cove, and then heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. I thought you might have gone off further away. No, we were just sitting in the grass. Why is everyone acting like such a big thing? We're okay, don't worry. Cove didn't want to go home just yet. We're okay, don't worry. Thank God you're both fine. Were you two having fun out here? Look over at Cove, who is wiggling against his dad's tight hug and pushing at his arms. You shrugged. Yes, I like him. He's good. I think I'm going to marry him. Yes, I like him. He nodded, smiling slightly. Finally letting go of his squirming, scowling son, Cove's dad turned to the three of you. Thank you so much for finding him. I really don't know this neighborhood. Good thing Jamie knows this whole area so well. Absolutely. We should be getting home now. It's been a long day for us. All. Say goodbye, Cove. The two of them walk off into the darkness, heading towards the neighborhood. You watch Cove's bright pink cast until it disappears. Tell you what, we'll have a proper playdate tomorrow, okay? Your new friend's dad wanted to bring him by to see you and Lizzie. How does that sound? Sure, can I show him my stuff? It sounds like words. You nodded, ducking your head down. Sure. Both your moms laughed, the sound overlapping into a warm, familiar chorus. Oh my goodness. Molly put her arm around your shoulder and led you towards the path. Satisfied and more than a little ready to go to bed after your long exciting day, you followed them home. Nervous indifference. Oh. Okay. So it seems nervous indifference is more the yellow, I guess, and then blue is good. Early the next morning, you were poking at your food, eating it slowly. Your sister Lizzie had run out earlier to go play, but you stayed put. Today, just like your mom had promised, Cove was coming over to hang out. Excited to see your new friend again, Jamie. I guess. Okay. With that said, are you done with your breakfast? Yeah. I don't know, am I? Your bowl is entirely empty, so you nodded. I guess we'll try the blue. With all the exasperation of an 8-year-old can muster out, you looked at your empty bowl and then mocked Mom. Good job. He should be here soon. Clean up and go. Oh, whoa, what happened? Clean up began, and then on cue there was a knock. It was hesitant, like the person wasn't sure they were in the right place. Still loud, though. We needed to get a more obvious doorbell. I know. Oh, I guess if you right-click it goes to save. Gotcha. Jamie, could you get it? Because Mom said so, you wandered over the door. Hi, Wonder Family. Thanks for having us. Mr. Holden, as your moms have called him, and his son were here. Cove looked different in the bright lighting of your living room, and when he wasn't crying. With his dad standing in front of him and Mom and Mommy behind you, you and Cove looked at each other. You studied Code apathetically. This was the parents' plan, not yours. Not seeming any more excited than you were, he just stared back. Did you want to go play in your room, Jamie? Sure. So my room is this way. Okay. Let us know if you need anything, you two. Have fun, kids. See you later, son. Play nice. Did I use the wrong options? I thought yellow was, like, doing well. I guess I'm forgetting my reading. Then to your room, puffing out your chest a bit at the sight of your treasure. There was a lot of stuffed animals, a cool bed, and a window to look out. It was a great room. You hadn't had anyone to show it to in a while, but you were really proud of it. He leaned in a little closer to one of your drawings on the wall. I like this. Me too. I do that. Thank you. I don't. Me too. Okay. You smiled at him. You were proud of that particular piece of art, and you were glad he noticed. He turned to look around the room a little more, studying the books on your desk and the pictures on the wall. To feel a bit nervous, you felt the atmosphere was kind of awkward. You were glad for the company. You hoped he liked your room. It was nice to have someone new to play with. Then his eyes landed on a teeny box of beach things you collected tucked away by your door. He took a step toward it, before hesitating and pointing at it instead. What's that? A hoard of stuff I found on the beach. Do you have any driftwood in there? Dragging the box in the middle of the room, you and Cove plopped down next to it. Yeah. You gestured to a piece of the bottom still covered with specks of sand. This is a good collection. You got a sense from the tone of his voice that he wasn't just saying it to be nice or to be like Shiloh. He actually meant it. Be like Shiloh. Ah, Shiloh's coming over. Shiloh? My sister's friend. He wants to, meet you. Do I have to see him? It'll be okay, I think. Here, I found the shell in a log, and you pull up the seashell after seashell, explaining where you got in each one, and holding them up against the lights. There were big ones, small ones, pink, purple, and orange. Most of them washed off in the bathroom sink when you brought them home, cleaning out the sand. Over the past few years, you'd even learned some of their scientific names. The collection was so huge and varied that you had lots of funny stories to tell over them. Your voice faltered a little bit, and you kept going as best you could. I guess we'll go funny stories. Apparently fascinated either by stories or by the shows themselves, Cove listened with what looked like a full force of his attention. Like when you almost got pinched by a hermit crab while searching for the shells, and after watching him scuttle back into the ocean, you found another empty shell that was almost a twin to his home. It was a new experience to be a center of such dedicated focus, even if it was only directed at the shells. Kids, come down to the living room. You could tell the idea was making him happy, but it wasn't giving you much of a chance to hang around. Cove hadn't been like this meeting you. You guess it was because he thinks you found each other by accident, not that his parents made it happen. Mr. Holden must be right that telling Cove his dad was part of that would be a bad idea. Before you knew it, you'd both been escorted downstairs and deposited in the living room ready for Shiloh's visit. The two of you sat side by side on the floor of your home's entry. I brought the box of cells. I want to keep looking at them. Great. Okay, but be careful. You should have asked. Great. Blast it open. We can keep looking while we wait for Shiloh. Cove reached in and pulled out a big orange shell. Oh! Like he hadn't spoken aloud yet, he turned to you and held it up, his eyes shining. I think this one is the best of them. That's my favorite too. I like the different one best. I can show it to you. You can take it. Yeah. Cole looked at you surprised, his eyes going wide. Really? Sure, you like it a lot, right? Uh-huh, but I don't want to take it from you. It's okay. You got the impression he was hesitant to accept something because he didn't know you very well. Oh, I guess once this time we'll go blue. No, it's okay for you. You pushed a shell against Cove's chest, willing him to receive the present, but Cove firmly shook his head and kept his arms tight to his side. It was a battle you couldn't win, at least not today. Cove is your neighbor now. Maybe you could give it to him another time. The two of you were still sitting on the floor looking through your collection of beach findings when the doorbell finally rang. Cove jumped, startled by the sound. Since the person had knocked, you figured it was probably Shiloh. He knew where to look for that. Is his friend? You nodded, but that didn't seem to make Cove feel better. It was already obvious that Cove didn't hide his feelings well. You could tell that he was thinking right away. This isn't a good idea. I'm sorry, there's nowhere to go. He's at our only door, and if you go upstairs, he'll find you. Cove glanced around the room, his eyes wide, and finally paused with his gaze locked from the back of the house. I can go out the window. He was already walking towards it. Scrambling, I think it's something to say, you stepped forward, then paused. Do you want to break your other arm? Shiloh is the least scary person alive. Cheer up, Shiloh's gonna like you. Please don't get hurt. I'll come with you. Good idea, let's go. Do you want to break your arm? Even I don't jump out of any of the windows here, and this is my house. The distance from the first floor to the living room window wasn't far, but you could tell it made Cove nervous anyway. He touched the cast of his arm. The window clearly hear these sort of sales. I don't want to break any more bones. I don't think anyone wants to. Yeah. But I won't want to see him, I don't know. You teased him, you comforted him, you encouraged him. Trust me, you'll be okay. Okay. Child poked his head in the living room. It was possible to know for sure if he'd heard what you'd been saying or not, but you guessed that he had. Hi, Jamie. And hi, Cove? Cove shot you an uneasy glance. This is a really freckled kid, my goodness. I'm Shiloh, it's nice to meet you. Yeah. You have a lot of freckles. Yeah. Oh, right, I do. What are you guys doing? We're looking at shells. Cove shrugged, then looked back at your box of beach findings. What about that one? The plan for the afternoon, at least as far as you were concerned, was to sit and look at the beach things some more. You weren't really in the mood to do much of anything else. You held out a recent find in Cove. A scallop shell that had washed up on shore. It's a pretty color, kind of looks like my cast. The beautiful glinting pink did look a little bit like the raft around his arm. Pink is a nice color. Okay. Is it your favorite? Not really. What is? Maybe green or blue. It might be yellow. Oh, those are cool. I guess. I like those colors too. There are better colors. Not sure how to deal with the sudden awkward silence. You look back at your shells. Like usual, it didn't take long for Shiloh to get fidgety. Lizzie was his favorite. Without her around, Shiloh didn't seem to know what to do with himself. And Cove wasn't like your sister. He wasn't that much like you either. Is Lizzie coming back? No. Where'd she go? I think she's at the beach, probably. Is she playing at her park? Cove's eyes lit up at the mention of park and he looks towards you. There's a park? Yep, but it's old. Can you show me? I want to go. He started getting up before you had even answered. A child jumped up beside him in excitement. Really? You do too? Right, Jamie. The park is fun. I'd love to. The park is great. No. Sure, why not? Yeah, it's right at the beach, so there's a lot of fun stuff to do and lots of sand. It has a jungle gym and a bunch of swings. That sounds like it could be cool. So, are we going to find Lizzie? I don't know. I never really wanted to see her. I just wanted to check the park out. Oh my god. Adrift without any direction, Shiloh finally turned to you. Okay. He perked up. Both boys wanted to go. It was only fair. After getting permission from your parents, the three of you were ready to head out. It was a short walk to the park. Lucia convinced your moms that it was so short she should always be allowed to walk there by herself. When you find her, she was hanging on the jungle gym, swinging back and forth. Hey, Lizzie. Her face lit up when she saw you, and her big brown eyes going wide. Jamie, Shiloh, hi. She dropped to the ground and landed with a soft thud in the sand. In a split second, Shiloh had abandoned you two and scrambled over to stand with her. You were used to being left out when it was just the three of you, but now Cove was here. You weren't sure if that was an improvement. Who's this? God, the sass on her. Oof. It's Cove. He's new. I remember. Hi, Cove. Welcome to my park. No one ever comes to play here, so this is where we get together. She gestured widely with her arms as if to present the area to the newcomers. Without interrupting Lizzie's speech, Cove whispered in your ear, quiet enough that the others wouldn't overhear. I thought kids could know places like parks or hills. You couldn't help but laugh a teeny bit. While Lizzie continued talking, you took the chance to kick off your shoes and wiggle your toes to the warm sand. Nice, huh? In this neighborhood, I'm the one who comes up with the ideas. You are? Yeah, I am. Who else could handle the job? Lizzie's the oldest. By a lot. My mom says you're Jamie's age. Yeah. Thought so. I'm still the only one in this group with double digits. What about other kids? Other kids? There aren't any. We're the only kids here, and Shiloh is just visiting from another place. Not even tourists really bring their kids here. This is a land of ancients. Be careful that the oldies don't try to steal your youth. For a second it seemed like he might cry again. With something, his eyes shifted and he looked back at Lizzie. What kind of old people? Like moms and dads, or grandparents? Grandparents who don't have kids. They hate kids. Why? We haven't done anything. Only some of them don't like kids. Stop saying stuff like that. You're going to upset him. Yeah, they're really bad. Only some of them don't like kids. You interjected quickly, hoping Lizzie wouldn't take things too far. Cove sniffled, his forehead creasing with worry. Lizzie was staring Cove down, but Cove wasn't even looking at her anymore. He didn't seem to care that she was there. He went into his own head. Shiloh was the next one to speak, completely unaware of the situation. I met Lizzie and Jamie in school. You'll see tons of kids there once summer is over. I don't want to go to a new school. I don't want summer to end. Shiloh looked down at the dirt. He hasn't had much luck striking up a conversation with Cove. I like summer vacation a lot too. All the building tension in the air suddenly vanished when Lizzie laughed. At Shiloh's discomfort at how weird she thought Cove was, at something else entirely, you didn't really know, but she laughed, face scrunching up. Welcome to Sunset Bird Cove. Take a seat, put your feet up, and get used to it. Ugh, he's right. For the rest of the summer, Cove was always there. You saw him more often than Shiloh, and on some days, when she was in a bad mood or busy, you even saw him more than Lizzie. He became a staple to your everyday life, the way sun and lunch and the beach were. That first summer, you hadn't really been interested in him one way or another. He was just kind of the fact of life, someone you met with because he was there. Of course, that was only the start of things. Okay. Alright, so I think we're going to save there. And take from there. yeah, so I think I'm gonna make that the first part. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see about adding some more in the coming time. It's longer than I expected, but it should be fun.